Weekly Review, October 6, 2017, 3:05 p.m. By Joe Kloc A. 64-year-old man brought 10 suitcases containing an arsenal of legally purchased rifles to a hotel suite on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, waited 3 days for the closing night of a country music festival being held about 500 yards away, and then opened fire on the crowd of 22,000 concertgoers below, killing 58 and injuring 489.123456. It was reported that the police profile of a mass shooter in the United States, of whom at least 56% have been white and 97% have been male, was not fit by the Las Vegas gunman, a white, male, reclusive, itinerant, high-stakes gambler who had purchased 33 guns in the previous year. He was a normal, average Joe Blow kind of guy, said a gun store owner who sold him a shotgun. 78910 Following the shooting, the share price of the gun manufacturer Smith Wesson climbed 3% in sales of the bump stock gun modification devices the shooter used to convert his semi-automatic weapons into long-range machine guns spiked across the United States, a country whose citizens have purchased 42% of the world's civilian-owned guns, and whose white citizens' individual likelihood of owning a gun is positively correlated to his or her anti-black racism. 1112131 The National Rifle Association, which in 1967 supported the repeal of California's open carry law when members of the Black Panther Party began carrying legally purchased firearms, said gun control will do nothing to stop gun violence, and then urged Congress to allow gun owners to carry concealed weapons across state lines. And at least 64 members of Congress who've accepted campaign contributions from the NRA announced that they would pray for the victims in Las Vegas, including a representative who said gun control was not the answer and who once spoke at an international white supremacist conference, authored a bill banning gay marriage in Louisiana, and was, after being shot by a 66-year-old white man, defended by a black female police officer who is married to a woman, a demographic in the United States that is 100 times more likely to be shot and killed by a man than to use a gun for self-defense. 1516171811920 The White House press secretary said it would be premature to talk about gun control. U.S. President Donald Trump said that he was not going to talk about gun control. And a 60-year-old man in New York shot and killed his 27-year-old disabled daughter with a shotgun in his backyard and then shot and killed himself. A 46-year-old woman was shot and killed in her mobile home in Florida. A 40-year-old man was shot and killed in a house in Maryland. A 52-year-old man in Louisiana was shot and killed in his backyard. 4 people attending a vigil for a 30-year-old woman who was shot and killed in Florida were then shot by an unknown assailant. A 20-something man in Tennessee was shot and killed outside the group home for disabled adults where he worked. A 25-year-old man in Georgia was shot and killed during a bar fight. A 27-year-old man in Michigan was shot and killed while walking his dogs. A 22-year-old man was shot and killed in his kitchen in Michigan while showing a visitor his gun. A 2-year-old in Illinois was shot by an unknown assailant while the car the child was riding in was stopped at a red light. A construction worker in New York was shot and killed on the 37th floor of an unfinished building by a coworker who then shot and killed himself on the 5th floor. An 18-year-old boy in New York was shot and killed 3 blocks from his home. A 14-year-old boy in Washington was shot and killed by a 13-year-old boy with a handgun he had borrowed from a 12-year-old. And, in Utah, a video was released of a police officer fatally shooting a black man who was running away after being pulled over for erratically riding his bicycle without a rear reflector. Deadly force, said the district attorney on the case, was justified. 212223242526728293031323334 Sign up to have the weekly review delivered to your inbox. Weekly Review, October 13, 2017, 6:24 p.m. Weekly Review, October 1, 2017, 6:44 p.m. Weekly Review, September 22, 2017, 3:05 p.m. Weekly Review, Page 2 Weekly Review, October 13, 2017, 6:24 p.m. By Joe Kloc Congressional Republicans reportedly said that U.S. President Donald Trump was nuts, unfit, and dangerous, and that they were praying Trump didn't do something really stupid before they reformed the tax code and then removed him from office. The Republican Speaker of the House told Congress that they may need to work till Christmas to pass tax reform legislation as soon as possible, and Trump complained about department stores using red decorations but not making their employees say Merry Christmas to customers. America is a nation, said Trump, sustained by the power of prayer. 123 Trump announced that his administration was stopping cold the attacks on Judeo-Christian values and then signed an executive order to stop subsidizing the cost of health insurance for poor people, which he said he was only signing because it costs him nothing. 456 Trump declared flashlights obsolete as he handed them out to Puerto Ricans, 90% of whom had no electricity in their homes, and tweeted that he wouldn't keep providing federal hurricane relief forever to Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory that the Secretary of Energy referred to as a country. 789 Vice President Mike Pence attended a football game in Indiana, where he responded to NFL players not standing for the national anthem to protest police killings of black men and women by leaving the game in protest. Trump tweeted that the players were disrespecting the American flag, and Trump remained seated during a flag-honoring ceremony at the base of the Pennsylvania Air National Guard, where he did not put his hand on his heart and then asked if the bugle was playing for him or for his companion, a talk show host whose ratings he then complimented. 10111213 Trump said that the Keystone XL pipeline, which he approved 2 months into his administration and which is still not under construction, was approved by him within 24 hours and was currently under construction. That Obama was responsible for the formation of the Islamic State, which formed 2 years before Obama took office. That a journalist set up Republican Senator Bob Corker by secretly recording their conversation, which captured Corker asking the journalist to record him, and that Chief of Staff John Kelly loves his job more than anything he's ever done. "It is not the best job I ever had," said Kelly. 141,516,171,819 A reporter asked Trump about a lunch the president was said to have shared the previous day with his Secretary of State. Trump said the reporter was behind the times, and that the lunch had occurred the previous week, and the White House confirmed that the lunch had in fact occurred the previous day. 2021 Trump said that he had no schedule for his administration, but that if he did he would be substantially ahead of schedule, that a lot of countries are starting to respect the United States of America, and that he met with the President of the Virgin Islands, a U.S. territory of which he is president. 222324 What's that? Trump reportedly asked when he was told of the 25th Amendment, which gives his cabinet members the power to remove him from office. 25 Sign up to have the weekly review delivered to your inbox. Weekly Review, October 6, 2017, 305 p.m. Weekly Review, October 1, 2017, 644 p.m. Weekly Review, September 22, 2017, 305 p.m. Weekly Review.